Measuring the volume of a liquid. What is it? Process of finding a number that shows the amount of something. Why? To be more precise when collecting data. Interesting fact, some species of stingray found in the deep ocean can grow as long as 14 feet or 4.2 meters, including the tail. Let's go ahead and look at the 4 examples that we're going to do. We're going to be counting by tens, counting by 0.1, counting by 25, and counting by 20s. So let's go ahead and take a look at the steps. Step 1, find the number amount between each of the hatch marks. Step 2, count up or down, whatever you find easier. So let's go ahead and read the question. Find the volume of liquid in the cylinder in milliliters. So let's go ahead and get started by zooming in, so it'll be a little bit easier. Next thing that we're going to do is subtract the two numbers that we see on the cylinder. So 300 minus 200, which gives us 100. And now we're going to go ahead and start counting the sections between the numbers to figure out how many sections that we have. So right now we know we start at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and finally 10. So now we know how many sections between 300 and 200, and we're going to go ahead and divide the 100 from the 300 minus 200 by 10, or the 10 sections, and that gives us 10. So now we know the distance in between each hatch mark. So we now know it's 10. Okay, so now we can go ahead and start counting up, and we can go ahead and count to 210, 220, 230, and finally 240 milliliters is your answer for example 1. Now let's go ahead and move on to example 2. Let's read the question. Find the volume of the liquid in the cylinder in liters. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom in so it's a little bit easier to see. We're going to go ahead and subtract 12 minus 11 because of the two numbers that we see, which gives us 1. Now we're going to go ahead and count how many sections are in between those two numbers. And let's go ahead and start counting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we have 10 sections. Now we're going to use that 1 that we got from 12 minus 11 and divide it by the 10 sections, which gives us 0.1. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start counting either up or down, up to you. Okay, so this time we're actually going to find halfway in between 12 and 11, which is 11.5. And now we can go ahead and start and count down, which gives us 11.4 liters. Okay, now if you don't feel confident about finding numbers or the middle or halfway between two numbers, you can always count up. Let's go ahead and do that. So we have 11.1, 11.2, 11.3, and finally 11.4. So either method, whatever you feel more confident doing, that's what you should do. And the answer is still 11.4 liters. Now let's take a look at example 3. Find the volume of the liquid in the cylinder in milliliters. Let's go ahead and zoom in. And then now we're going to go ahead and subtract the two numbers, 300 minus 200, which gives us 100. Now, the next step is to go and figure out how many sections are in between the two numbers. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we have 4 sections. So now we have to use that 100 we got from the 300 minus 200 and divide it by 4 sections, which gives us 25. Okay, so now we can go ahead and find the distance between each hatch mark, and now we can go ahead and start counting either up or down, whether you feel more confident. Since we're closer to 300, we're going to count down, and 300 minus 25 is 275 milliliters. There we have it. Let's look at the final example. Okay, so find the volume of the liquid in the cylinder in milliliters once again. So we're going to zoom in once again, and now we're going to subtract the numbers 300 minus 100, which gives us 200. And now we're going to go ahead and find the amount of sections between those two numbers, and let's go ahead and get started, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we have 10 sections. We're going to use that 200 that we have from 300 minus 100 and divide it by the 10 sections. And 200 divided by the 10 sections gives us 20. And now we can go ahead and start counting. So we can either count up or count down, or you can find the middle between 300 and 100 and count up to you. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and count down. So 300 minus 220 is 280, and we go again and we get to 260. So your answer is 260 milliliters. Okay, now it is your turn. So go ahead, pause the video so you can answer these 3 questions at your own pace, and I will show you the answers in 3, 2, and 1. So if you got all 3 of those correct, well done. If you didn't, there is always tomorrow.